came across Buddhism because I met a Buddhist in Sydney who happened to be a Mitra, and he was trying to sell me an encyclopedia actually, but instead of selling me an encyclopedia, we just got talking about life and the universe and everything, just meaningful things about life, and he seemed to make so much sense to me. I got a sense that he knows something, or he's got something that's quite unique. I'd never come across somebody with, I suppose I would call it wisdom. When people started to talk to me about the Buddha, about wisdom, about compassion, about actions having consequences, about being able to take responsibility for your life, about being able to change radically, I just thought that's exactly what I want to do.
When I first encountered the Buddha, this wonderful sense of this figure sitting under a live tree, a live human being sitting under a live growing tree, and having this blossoming sense of not just himself, but the whole of reality, the whole of what things are like. It made me laugh. I remember just laughing, sitting looking at this little painting or postcard of the Buddha.
If I read the life story of the Buddha, his individual meetings with people are probably what inspire me most.
You know, a life lived with absolute clarity, determination, and wanting to end suffering. You know, he was a human being, we're a human being, he tells us we can do the same, and believing that.
The way he spoke to people and the way he gave people time and went out to give time to people and met everybody on their level.
It wasn't easy to communicate to other human beings, but he just dedicated his life to it, enabled other people to see what he'd seen and encouraged them to pass it on, so that we could all one day be free of suffering.
I just want more of that stillness and positivity and love that he embodies in my being, so that I can act from that place in my contact with the world.
Probably the Buddha's emphasis on kindness is what inspires me most. Extreme kindness is very inspiring.
I can't quite see what a life would be without the three jewels and all that the three jewels mean. The Buddha representing that potential for growth, that potential for wisdom, that potential for compassion, that sort of ever opening out potential. That just seems to me vital. It's almost like the vital nourishing factor for my being, like food for my body.
People will always need to go for refuge, and I think the network of centres we have in the towns are places where people can explore that.
I came across the Dharma in the Manchester Buddhist Centre, and it's one of the most wonderful places in the world. It changed my life completely. I've become a better, kinder, more generous person, and I think if people had the opportunity to come to the Buddhist Centre and learn a meditation, they would really appreciate it.
You know, centres, they're so fantastic. It is inspiring when people come off the street and they've thought of coming and they've been too frightened to walk in, and then they walk in and then they fall in love with the Dharma, you know, and it's fantastic. It's a great reminder of, you know, oneself when you didn't know the sort of things that they're asking questions about.
I'm quite struck sometimes when I speak to people. They'll say things like, I've known about this centre for 8-10 years and I'm here now, and it's taken me this length of time to get here. And it's quite nice that actually to know that people are out there in the world feeling troubled maybe, but knowing all the time that this is a facility that they can go and access, that they can go at some time in their life and learn meditation and be at the Buddhist Centre. And I think it's really helped people. I know it's really helped people. People have said this to me.
It's very important that we go out and spread out the Dharma, because many people would like to live better lives, but they haven't got the tools, they haven't got alternatives. And by creating Buddhist centers, we give people an opportunity to come, learn meditation, learn about Buddhist ethics, and transform their lives for better.
Buddhadasa inherited a bit of money from an aunt, and he put all of it into starting Buddhist centres. I mean, he's probably started or helped develop more Buddhist centres than any other order member all over the world. And the fact that he came down to Brighton on his own, which was a big deal in those days, 1974, it was one of the first centres after London, and he put all his money into, getting these places together and, having a Buddhist centre, in the middle of Brighton, completely changed my life and changed the lives of, many other people.
I was lucky enough to come across it in Sydney in 1981. But there are many places I could have been in where I wouldn't have come across it. So I'm quite passionate about trying to do my part in helping this form of Buddhism, this Dharma, to spread so that it does become available to more and more people.